Hey everyone, it's Junaid from Meninfluencer here, and in this video I want to go over a step-by-step guidance on how to master the art of storytelling. I know you are excited, and with that said, let's get started. Step 1. Set the stage. Start by creating a captivating opening that grabs your audience attention. This could be a surprising fact, a relatable anecdote, or a thought-provoking question. The goal is to hook your listener right from the beginning. And nowadays, we live in a world where people don't have the attention span to continue to listen to you, and that's why it's extremely important to grab the attention. If you're someone that can't grab the attention, they will simply either ignore you or won't even listen to you, because there's so many other alternative interesting things to listen to. And that's why it's extremely important for you to set the stage. And there's so many ways to set the stage, but it really depends on the context, who you're talking to and how many people you're talking to. Say for example, there's a group of people and you already know them, they are your friends, and you're trying to grab their attention. You can literally just enter the group and say no way, like just shout it as hard as you can, and everyone will be like, no way what? And you instantly grab their attention. When other situations where there's a group of strangers and you want to enter the conversation and you're already hearing that they're talking about a certain topic, now you can enter the conversation by asking either a very thought-provoking question or using a very thought-provoking statement. So let me give you an example. Say people are talking about the gender gap. I don't know why I'm using this as an example, but say I see a couple of guys and girls talking about the gender gap, talking about whether men and women are earning enough, and there's this particular girl, she's super passionate talking about it, she's stating all of the facts, and the way that you can enter this conversation is by asking a thought-provoking question. So when she's constantly talking and stating all the facts, you can enter and you can say, yeah, but what about you? What's your opinion about it? And then she'll probably start to blur something out, and then you move on to making a thought-provoking statement, and this will grab the attention of everyone. And this thought-provoking statement can be something like, well, I don't think you should earn that much. And then you start your storytelling. And how you will tell your story will be mentioned in the next step. But now, just think about it. Because you've put out such a thought-provoking statement, everyone has focused on you. You've grabbed the attention, and this doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Whether it's a positive statement or negative statement, you got what you were looking for. You wanted to grab the attention, and now on to the next step. You can validate your argument, or you can even disprove or act like you actually do agree with these individuals, but the way that you worded it was completely different. But hey, at least you got the attention. Step number 2. Introduce the protagonist. Introduce the main character of your story. It could be you, someone you know, or even a fictional character. I'm not here to tell you to say the truth. If you want, you can even waffle a story based on nothing and completely lie. Or even a fictional character. Your stories don't always have to be based on a real person. You can always sometimes fake a little bit here and there. Tell a little bit of white lies. This way you can really spice up some conversations. And here you describe the background, their personality, and what makes them interesting. So let's go back to the example that I already gave. Very controversial, but I love it. So the main character of my gender gap story is the girl that I'm talking to. To her, I said that she shouldn't earn that much. And by the way, this is a fictional story, so even now I'm describing a fictional story to you, and I'm still able to storytell something interesting. Anyways, after I made that very controversial statement, I can take it back and say something positive. And I can say, yeah, the reason that I feel like you shouldn't earn that much is because you should be earning way more than this. And obviously this is quite slimy, and if you're someone that doesn't want to go too much towards a negative route, this is still a good way to get some bonus points, get her attention, get the attention of the rest of the room, and now you can switch the topic and talk about something else. But if you're someone that's like, yeah, I love a little bit of drama, I love a little bit of controversy, you can take the negative route a bit further. And an example of this would be, I can say to you, yeah, the reason I don't think you should be earning that much is because I don't think you are qualified. And I can easily tell by the way that you're speaking that I don't think you would be able to fit that role. I know I might be biased, I know that I don't really know you, but that's just my opinion. And this moves me to step number 3. Establish the conflict. Every great story has a conflict that needs to be resolved. What challenges is your protagonist facing? Well, in this case, I am her challenge. But usually it can be a personal struggle, a decision they need to make, or an obstacle they must overcome. And now, since I have caused the conflict, most likely I've grabbed the attention of everyone that was in the conversation, and either there will be some sort of hero trying to intervene, but the main conflict will be between her and me. And this way I can paint the story in real life with actual examples. Step number 4, build suspense. As you unfold the story, build suspense by gradually revealing more details about the conflict and engage your audience curiosity by leaving them wanting for more. Because now everyone is so surprised. How dare someone in 2023, say something to a woman like this, and they want to know what goes through my mind. Am I a misogynist? Am I a woman hater? Did I experience something that allowed me to think this way? And these are all questions that go through their mind whilst this conflict is happening. And whilst we are in a conversation, most likely they want to know my reasons. And this gives me so much room and opportunity to tell my story, because everyone is so curious, everyone is so intrigued, and the only reason for this is because I put out a thought-provoking question and statement. And a side note to all of this is that when it comes to storytelling, it's extremely important to be very confident and have enough energy level to match the room. And if you're someone that's the person that's telling the story, always try to have a little bit more energy than the rest of the room or the people that you're talking to, because this way you can convey their attention. Because the last thing you want to happen in storytelling is to give away your power to someone else. Even if what you're saying isn't something you agree with, you still need to stand by your point and make sure you keep all of the eyes and all of the power to yourself. Step number 5, climax and resolution. This is where the tension reaches its peak. The climax is the turning point that leads to the resolution of the conflict. So you can see that tensions are starting to rise, because there's a conflict and there's two sides of the argument that are starting to convey. But since I'm standing my ground, we are reaching a climax. And step number 6 is to convey emotions. Emotions are the heart of storytelling. Make sure your audience empathizes with their experiences. Because now, when it comes to this imaginary girl that I have a conflict with, everyone is empathizing with her, everyone feels bad for her, and everyone's so emotionally involved. And this is what you want. Because as much as we as humans like to be logical, at the end of the day, we're emotional creatures, and pretty much all of our decisions are made on our emotions. And that's why it's extremely important to be able to play with all the individual's emotions, especially when it comes to storytelling. Because now, say for example, I'm talking to this random individual. I'm telling to her, yeah, I understand that it might feel like I'm attacking you, but it's not. And then she will be like, what do you mean? You're actually attacking me. Look what you're saying. And then now everyone is getting worked up. Everyone's so emotionally involved. And this is what you want. Step number 7, add visual details. Visualize the story, because this way you can grab the attention of your audience. So when I'm having an argument with this individual, I can paint a visual story. And when it comes to visual details, I can say something like, yeah, well, the other day I saw a group of people and they were laying bricks, and there were these 2 girls and these 2 guys, and it was clear and evident that these 2 guys were working twice as hard as this woman, and now you want to have equal pay. I don't think that's how it works. And by adding visual details, everyone is painting this image in their mind. Step number 8 is to pace your delivery. Practice the pacing of your story. Slow down during crucial moments and speed up during the less intense parts, because this keeps your audience engaged. Because everyone likes all of the drama. Everyone likes the emotional provoking messages. Just look at social media. Things that provoke your emotions are more likely to be shared than things that don't. And the same goes when it comes to storytelling. Because in this story, every time I'm saying something to piss her off, every time I'm saying something that I know that will be controversial and people will pay attention, I start to slow down. I really focus on all of the key details, whilst in between the conversation, when we're having less drama, when there's less emotional provocative things said, I start to speed up. Number 9, craft a memorable ending. Wrap up the story with a memorable conclusion that leaves your audience with something to think about. Because that's the whole purpose of storytelling. You want to engage the audience and want to make them think about it. It can be a lesson that they can learn. It can be something that they will remember for the rest of the time. Or it can even be an emotion. So for example, when I'm talking to this individual, I can end it with, hey look, I was just joking. I just thought you looked really good and I wanted your attention. And boom, there you go. I've had a memorable ending because we've had so much tension built up. So many emotions were conveyed, but now I'm ending it with a bang. Whilst before this, if I would have a normal conversation, most likely I wouldn't even be able to grab the attention of everyone and put this individual through an emotional roller coaster. And step number 10 is practice makes perfect. So when it comes to storytelling, this isn't something you can instantly practice and you'll be really good at it. You need to do it over and over again. Practice with friends, with strangers, with family. It does not matter. The more you practice, the better you will become. But I completely understand that it can be quite daunting and it can be quite difficult to start, because what are the words you should say? What are the sentences that you should use before you can even start your storytelling journey? And that's why I created a course called Social Mastery. This is a course that I don't really promote, I don't really talk about it, except for my email list, which I will have linked down below. Once you enter my email list, you get exclusive access to the Social Mastery course. And this is for men that want to improve their social skills and want to be able to say the right thing at the right time to talk to beautiful girls. So if you do want to check it out, I will have it linked down below. And that's pretty much the end of this video. This is the art of storytelling. When it comes to storytelling, there's so many different variables, but if you follow all of these steps and you practice, you'll become a master at it. And that's pretty much the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate your time and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.